The observation deck of the Celestial Harmony hummed with the usual cacophony of 1,000 different species, coexisting in controlled chaos. Akim stood near the viewing port, her dark eyes reflecting the swirling nebula outside. As the station's newest human engineer, she'd grown accustomed to the stairs. Humans were still a curiosity this far from Earth. Another one? The clicking voice of Dr. Zelthor broke her reverie. The Corinthian medic's 6 eyes betrayed annoyance as 2 security officers dragged in a creature Akim had never seen before. It was massive, easily the size of a small shuttle, with crystalline scales that refracted the station's artificial light into rainbows. But those scales were cracked now, oozing a viscous silver fluid. The creature's breathing came in ragged gasps, and one of its 4 legs bent at an unnatural angle. "What is it?" Harry asked, appearing beside Akim. Her fellow human engineer had been on the station for 2 years, and his casual demeanor suggested he'd seen stranger things. "A Varathian star whale," Zelthor said, his translator converting his chittering into flat, emotionless standard. "They migrate through this sector every decade. This one was struck by debris from the mining operation in Sector 7. The creature let out a sound, a deep, resonating pulse that vibrated through Akim's chest and made her teeth ache. It wasn't quite a cry, but the pain in it was unmistakable. "You'll treat it, right?" Akim asked, already moving toward the creature. "Negative." Zelthor's primary eyes swiveled toward her. "Varathians are classified as non-sentient megafauna. Station protocols prohibit the expenditure of medical resources on—" "It's dying," Harry interrupted, his voice harder than Akim had ever heard it. "It is an animal," the doctor replied. "A large one, admittedly, but the medical bay's resources are allocated for sentient beings. The creature will be transported to the waste processing level, where it will expire without disrupting station operations." Akim felt her stomach turn. Around them, various aliens had stopped to observe the spectacle. Some chittered in what might have been agreement with the doctor. Others simply stared with their multitude of eyes, curious but uninvolved. The star whale pulsed again, weaker this time. Its massive head turned, and Akim found herself looking into an eye the size of her torso. There was something there, not quite intelligence as the Galactic Council defined it, but something deeper. Recognition, pleading. "How long?" Harry asked quietly. "Judging by the internal hemorrhaging my scanner detects, 4, perhaps 5 of your human hours." "And if someone treated it? Someone who wasn't concerned about protocol?" Zelthor's mandibles clicked in what Akim had learned was the Corinthian equivalent of a shrug. "The injuries are severe, but not necessarily fatal. Cellular regeneration gel, structural support for the fractured limb, basic wound sealing. Perhaps 6 hours of work," he paused, "for someone properly trained." "I'm not watching this thing die because of paperwork," Harry said. He was already pulling off his engineering jacket. "You are not authorized, then arrest me afterward." Harry knelt beside the star whale's massive head. The creature's breathing had become shallow, rapid. "Hey there, buddy, easy, we're going to help you." Akim made her decision in that instant. "What do you need?" Harry's grin was brief but genuine. "Everything the good doctor just mentioned. And that emergency medical kit from Bay 3, the one that technically doesn't exist." The next 6 hours blurred together. Akim had never considered herself particularly brave, but as Harry talked her through each step, his voice calm and steady despite having no formal medical training, she found a reserve of courage she hadn't known existed. The regeneration gel came first, carefully applied to the cracked scales. The star whale shuddered but didn't pull away when Harry kept one hand on its hide, murmuring constant reassurance. "That's it, buddy. I know it stings. You're doing great." Other humans began to appear. Collins from hydroponics brought thermal blankets. Yuki from communications somehow procured pain medication from her personal supply. Marcus from security took one look at the scene and quietly disabled the cameras in the bay. Akim noticed something as she worked. The non-human crew members watched from a distance, confusion evident in their body language. To them, this made no sense. Resources being expended on a non-sentient creature, humans risking disciplinary action, possibly imprisonment, for an animal they'd never seen before and would never see again. But as Akim watched Harry carefully splint the fractured leg, talking to the star whale like it was a frightened child, she understood something the Galactic Council hadn't quite grasped about humanity. They didn't help because it was logical. They didn't help because there was some benefit to be gained. They helped because something was suffering and they could do something about it. "Final seal is holding," Harry announced, exhaustion evident in his voice. "Buddy, you're going to make it." The star whale's breathing had steadied. Its eye, that massive, liquid eye, fixed on Harry for a long moment. Then it pulsed, a sound completely different from before. Gentle, resonant, grateful. Commander Zixara arrived as they were cleaning up, her translator buzzing with barely contained fury. "Explain this violation of—" She stopped. The star whale had lifted its massive head and was looking at each human in turn. Then it began to sing, a sound that filled the entire observation deck, harmonizing with frequencies no human ear should have been able to detect but that Akim felt in her soul. Around them, crew members from a dozen species stood frozen. Akim saw Dr. Zelthor's translator struggling with the whale's song, finally producing fragmented words. Gratitude, kindness, and remembered. Commander Zixara's antennae drooped. "I see," she said quietly. "Perhaps our protocols require revision." As the star whale was carefully transported to a recovery bay, authorized, this time Harry caught Akim's eye and smiled. Sometimes, Akim realized being human meant doing the illogical thing, and sometimes that was exactly what the universe needed.